Teofimo says he has not made $1 million in his career yet. Um, and it makes a lot of sense when you actually look at it. But this goes back to 2 points I've said recently. It's not just about him not making $1 million in his career. This goes back to two things I said recently when they was talking about the Brian Norman Jr. situation with Bruce Ennis, and everybody was talking about, oh man, you turned down this much money and this millions. You turning down this much money. I had said recently that Teofimo Lopez, they was offering him 1.5 or something like that to fight Ryan Garcia or something. And he was like, nah, I don't want that. And I think from the Tank fight, it was probably more than that. But I don't know the details. But I know one of those fights, he was offered 1.5. And he was like, nah, I ain't taking that. Because it was the same thing he made for Steve Claggett. So he going up fighting bigger competition on a bigger card, pay-per-view, and everything for the same amount of money he could fight on ESPN. So when I seen him do that, I'm like, okay, so I'm pretty sure Brian Norman Jr., he get in that situation, he can do the same thing. So that's why I wasn't tripping about the Bruce Ennis situation, because I'm like, well, Teofimo's already doing that. And he went across the street and fought on the zone before. And he didn't like it, so it's not like it was something he wanted to go do again. He had many chances to go do it. He can do it right now. He can go fight Jerron Ennis right now. But it's not something that interests him right now because it seems like he's not getting the proper pay that he wants. So I think Brian Norman Jr. just in a situation where he was like, well, I'm just going to try to build myself up to where I can get paid where I want to get paid if I'm not going to get the amount of money I want right now in the situation. Because I'm a champ too. And Teofimo's a champ. So for him not to be getting over $1 million right now, and he talking about after expenses and everything, yeah, that's not good. That's definitely not good. But it also shows that these guys aren't making the amount of money that people think they're making. Which also makes my point. Teofimo should not be turning down any fights right now. He's not in a position where he should be turning down any kind of fights right now. Period. Shouldn't be turning down no fights. I've been saying that. The only fight I said he should be turning down right now is that Tank Davis fight, because it was at 135 and he just wanted the 140. So I'm like, okay, you ain't trying to go back to 35 and all this other stuff. Okay, cool. Because recently people were talking about some Tank trying to take Ryo to 135. He been trying to take everybody to 135. That's the whole reason why him and Teofimo ain't fight. So I don't understand when people were saying that. I did not understand that at all. I thought people already knew that he was trying to drag people up to 135. I mean down to 135. And Teofimo had just left. And Ryan Garcia had left right after that. I don't know. It don't make a lot of sense to me. But for him not to fight Devin Haney right now, and you ain't really getting no paydays, and Ryan Garcia just got his biggest payday fighting Devin Haney, and then people will say, well, he just lost. Man, who cares? What are we talking about? Everybody asking who he gonna fight next. Or who he better fight next after a loss. All these other guys need tune-ups after a loss. And they want him to fight the best. So Teofimo considered one of the best. So have him fight. But he don't want to take that fight though. So what? So what fight is he trying to make money? That's my whole thing. What position he trying to get in to actually make a fight to make some money? Right now it's not gonna be that fight. Because he turned it down. No other fights I'm hearing about. I heard about the Brian Norman Jr. fight, but that didn't go through. It seemed like it was too close anyways. But I don't know. These other fights, it don't make a lot of sense why he hasn't been making them. 140 is loaded. They got all kind of contenders at 140. He's been at 135. He fought what notable names: Kambosos, Lomachenko, who had just came up to 135. Well, he had a few fights, but still, it's like really a 130. So it wasn't really a lot of fights that Teofimo had at 140 where it's like, okay. Claggett, I know you had Ortiz, who came from 35. Josh Taylor was a 40. Martin was a 40. But it seems like he's finna go up to 147 now. And he ain't took home $1 million yet? Yeah, man. I don't know. Business of boxing is rough, man. It really is. It's definitely not easy. And people said, and that's why when fans say fighters are looking for paydays, yeah, it's the fight business. Yeah, I'm looking for a payday. Everybody looking for a payday. Canelo wasn't making that type of money until he fought Floyd. And he didn't do nothing when he fought Floyd. Just went in there and got a check. That was a payday. So I understand that. He got one of the easiest paydays. And got paid good too. 12 million? 12 million is good money now. And look how far back that was. Over 10 years? What, 10 years ago? So yeah, man, if Teofimo gotta fight somebody, you gotta get in the ring with Haney or somebody. You can't be turning down any fights. You're not gonna be in your prime forever. I mean, the name and everything, having a couple of soft touches here and there, fighting guys at 35 and 40, it's cool and everything, but it's time to start stepping up, man. Fans are getting restless, and guys are gonna get replaced soon. There's gonna be a lot of guys at 35 and 40. They're gonna get moved out of the way. There's a lot of other boxers coming up now. They're not gonna wait around. I'm telling you, it's gonna change in a minute.